Hello, all dear viewers of David Farm. For a long time, farmers have applied models of combined farming and crop farming and brought high economic efficiency, including the model of combining fish or shrimp farming in rice fields. However, the most famous are the crab farms combined with rice farming in China, which have helped hundreds of thousands of local farmers escape poverty and become rich. Rice and crab products are both highly appreciated for their quality and higher prices than intensive farming. So, today, let's explore with us how the crab farming model combined with rice farming has helped Chinese farmers become rich. Currently, the largest crab farming area in rice fields in China is Panjin City, Liaoning Province, with more than 10,000 farmers getting rich from this model. According to a report by the Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Affairs of China, in recent years, the Panjin County Rice Union has sold 700,000 tons of rice each year, achieving a turnover of more than 5 billion yuan, equivalent to more than $650,000 US. The crab farming area is 1.7 million mu. He achieved an output of about 75,000 tons of crabs per year. With this combined model, thousands of local farmers have escaped poverty and become rich. So, how does this hybrid model work? To create an ideal environment for crabs to thrive, Chinese farmers need to rehabilitate rice fields or fields by digging ditches or small ponds around the rice fields for crabs to thrive. These ditches provide habitat for crabs during dry periods or when water levels are low. The conversion of rice fields to combined crab farming only needs to be done once, but can be raised in many subsequent crops. So farmers lose one time of work. The power is to be able to harvest profits in the following seasons. The crabs, usually Chinese field crabs, are released into the rice fields after the rice has been planted. The crabs need to be released at the right density so that the rice and crabs can coexist without competition. As the rice plants grow, they provide shade and a natural habitat for the crabs, and the rice plants also protect the crabs from predators and extreme temperatures. With this unique farming method, farmers do not need to spend much on feed, as the crabs feed in the wild on weeds and insects. However, occasionally supplementary feed can be provided, such as crushed snails or some chopped trash fish. Rice takes 3 to 4 months to grow, which is also the time when crabs are harvested. The rice is harvested first, and then farmers drain the fields to make harvesting easier. Crabs can be caught by hand or in traps to avoid breaking the claws or legs, as this will reduce the commercial value and make the crabs more likely to die. Chinese farmers grow 2 rice crops a year, which equates to 2 crab harvests a year. Raising crabs in the fields brings great benefits to farmers. Raising crabs in rice fields brings double the harvest, much more beneficial than just raising crabs or growing rice. Chinese farmers said that each mu of rice field produces about 100 kilograms of crabs, an average of 70 crabs per kilogram. Each mu of rice field can help them increase their income by about 10,000 yuan, or about 34 million VND. Not only can farmers increase their income, they can also save on fertilizer and pesticide costs. because the use of chemical fertilizers and pesticides will affect the survival and development of crabs. Therefore, Chinese farmers have stopped using all types of chemical fertilizers, pesticides, or herbicides after releasing crabs into their rice fields. Releasing crabs into rice fields also helps eliminate weeds in rice fields. Crabs eat some pests, improve water quality, and promote rice growth, while rice fields create a favorable environment for crabs to grow. In recent years, the method of raising crabs in rice fields has produced high-quality, pollution-free, high nutritional value, and delicious organic rice and crab products that are very popular with Chinese consumers. In particular, rice originating from Panjin County has created a brand of high-quality organic rice that is famous in the Chinese consumer market. Moreover, crabs raised in rice fields are also appreciated for their delicious texture and natural flavor. They are very popular in the domestic market. The high demand for crabs has caused many other localities in China to expand and develop this unique combination model. Integrated crab and rice farming is also considered a sustainable agriculture that can thrive in the future. It is also in line with global goals for environmentally friendly food production. In India and Southeast Asia, with significant advantages in natural conditions and rice agriculture, it is also possible to develop models of integrated rice farming with crab farming, because the demand for freshwater crabs and organic rice products in these markets is also increasing. We have just discovered a farm that combines crab farming with rice growing in China. How do you feel about today's video? Leave your comments below to let us know. Click like and subscribe to follow more videos. And now, goodbye and see you again. Surely we all know that pests and diseases are the direct cause of agricultural decline. That has also been a fear for soybean farmers in China for thousands of years. The finger-sized green worms were once the #1 enemy of soybean farmers, but now they are one of the farmers' sources of economic income. So, how has this pest made farmers rich? Please explore with us now. Just a few years ago, soybean farmers in Sichuan, Shandong, and Jiangsu provinces were still afraid of pests and diseases severely affecting bean harvest yields. They even lost all of their harvest because of this harmful bean worm. At that time, no one could have thought that this harmful pest could bring in economic resources worth millions of yuan, until they discovered that bean worms could be eaten. Perhaps up to now, there are still many soybean farmers who still cannot believe that they have made a lot of money from these green worms. They are sold for more than 100 yuan per pound. Their price increases every year, and at times, the cost reaches 180 yuan per pound. Not only that, many farmers in some areas have even become rich by raising bean worms. Soybean farmers in Shandong and Jiangsu consider bean worms to have high economic value and are a regional specialty. They are used to prepare delicious dishes such as roasted bean worms, fried bean worms. In recent years, when human demand for food from green insects has increased, the nutritional value of bean worms has also been discovered very well. Rich in protein, essential amino acids, and essential fatty acids. Because the high nutritional value makes the demand for beanworms increase rapidly, many farmers have realized that at times, beanworms bring higher profits than soybeans. So they have turned to growing beans to worm farming. From there, a worm farming industry was formed in some rural areas of China. To raise beanworms successfully and with high productivity, farmers need to choose areas with suitable locations for them to grow, with adequate lighting, good ventilation, and favorable drainage conditions. At the same time, make sure there are no sources of pollution around. Choose bean insect varieties that are suitable for the local environment, grow quickly and lay many eggs, and have strong disease resistance. If environmental conditions are suitable for beanworms, it will help them grow extremely quickly and bring great profits to farmers. Raising beanworms in the provinces is even more profitable than raising livestock such as cows and pigs, because it does not require raising costs and is more expensive. The main food of beanworms is bean leaves, bean pods, and other legumes. Therefore, Chinese farmers can save a large part of animal feed costs. During the breeding process, it is necessary to ensure that bean caterpillars are provided with fresh, nutritious food and avoid mold and spoilage. At the same time, adjust the type and quantity of food appropriately according to their growth and reproductive stages. In addition, it is also necessary to monitor the health status of beanworms to prevent harmful bacteria. If a successful harvest season will help farmers reap a lot of profits. According to reports from beanworm farmers, a normal acre of bean plants can usually harvest 200 kilograms of fresh beanworms and earn a total income of 8,000 yuan, about $1,200. This level of income is sometimes even higher than growing and harvesting soybeans. In fact, in Liangyungang, Jiangsu, eating beanworms has become the most unique local culinary culture. Many newcomers to Jiangsu felt resistant to beanworms when they first saw them. However, after trying them a few times, many people will fall in love with this seemingly strange and fear-inducing delicacy. Today, there are many beanworm farming facilities in many places. Each year, they can produce tens of thousands of kilograms of beanworms, becoming high-quality raw materials for many high-end hotels and restaurants. A plate of pre-cooked beanworms can sell for 2,000 yuan during peak season. Thanks to its high nutritional value, beanworms are also known as bean ginseng. In addition to fresh beanworms, on the market in China, there are also canned beanworms or prepared beanworms. Consumers can easily buy beanworm products to prepare daily dishes. We have just watched how Chinese farmers make millions of yuan from this green worm. Please leave your comments below to let us know. Don't forget to like and subscribe to receive the latest notifications. For now, goodbye and see you again! Hello everyone watching David Farming Channel. Over thousands of years of history, the dragon has become an important cultural symbol for some Asian countries, typically China. However, today, Chinese people have created a unique dish called dragon tongue sashimi. Is this dish made from the dragon's tongue? Today, let's explore with us how Chinese farmers raise thousands of special dragons. In Chinese mythology, crocodiles are considered descendants of dragons, so many Chinese people still consider them dragons to this day. However, crocodiles are not considered religious because they are fierce predators. Today, millions of crocodiles are raised on farms in China, playing an important role in the economic development of local communities. In China, crocodile farms are very large, holding hundreds to thousands of animals. These farms are often built in tropical or subtropical climates, especially in Guangdong, Fujian, and Hainan provinces. The most commonly farmed crocodile is the Yangtze crocodile, which is also native to China, with many farms importing and breeding Siamese crocodiles. Crocodile farms are often designed to mimic the crocodile's natural habitat, with ponds and large sandy areas for the crocodiles to bask and roam. This helps ensure their natural growth and ability to reproduce. Enclosure areas are often segregated by age and size to ensure that alligators do not compete for food or eat each other. Crocodiles are carnivores, so they are usually fed fresh meat, mainly chicken, fish, and sometimes pork. Unlike other livestock, crocodiles do not need to be fed regularly, only 2 to 3 times a week. Moreover, the amount of food is also strictly managed to ensure that crocodiles grow at a stable rate without wasting food. Chinese farmers also pay great attention to the health of crocodiles. Cleaning cages and ponds is also done regularly to prevent bacteria from growing. Because farmed crocodiles are often susceptible to skin diseases, regular cleaning of cages also ensures the crocodiles are healthy. To increase the number of farmed crocodiles, Chinese farmers carry out the incubation process to produce quality offspring. The incubation process of crocodile eggs is carried out in professional incubators with strictly controlled temperature and humidity. The incubation period for crocodile eggs can last from 60 to 80 days, depending on the species of crocodile. Newly hatched crocodiles usually reach a size of about 19 to 21 centimeters, and they can move quickly right after hatching. At this time, the baby crocodiles are carefully cared for before being released into concentrated breeding tanks or sold for breeding. Large-scale crocodile farms in China can harvest thousands of dollars after each sale of breeding crocodiles. Crocodile farming in China has grown rapidly in recent years, providing a steady income for local farming communities and jobs for thousands of workers in crocodile leather processing factories. Yes, crocodile skin is considered the most valuable part and is commonly used in the fashion industry to produce high-end handbags, belts, and shoes. Each product made from crocodile skin is worth from hundreds to thousands of dollars. There are even some of the world's most famous crocodile skin handbags that cost up to $450,000. Not only harvested for its skin, crocodile meat is also becoming increasingly popular in Chinese cuisine, where it is considered a nutritious delicacy with high protein content and low fat. While the meat parts are prepared by methods such as stir-frying and grilling, crocodile tongue is processed into a unique sashimi dish, often referred to by locals as dragon tongue sashimi. Many people may be scared of this dish, but it is very popular with some Chinese people. The preparation method is very simple. Just clean the crocodile tongue and cut it into bite-sized pieces. This dragon tongue sashimi is enjoyed like many other sashimi dishes. In China, crocodiles are also used in traditional medicine to make medicines that are believed to cure lung-related diseases, relieve pain, and boost the immune system. Many people also often make crocodile meat is processed with some medicinal herbs to improve health. Overall, crocodile farming is a large-scale industry, with farming and processing processes tightly controlled to maximize profits. It plays an important role in the development of the local economy, and help farmers stabilize their lives. With a history of thousands of years, the culinary system in China is also very diverse, with countless different processing methods. Among them, salted meat, smoked meat, and dried meat are famous. In particular, the Chinese can dry any type of meat from livestock, poultry, and fish. Among them, Jiangxi salted duck is considered the king of salted meats because of its delicious flavor. So, how did farmers process this salted duck? Let's explore with us right now! Salted ducks have been popular in China for hundreds of years and were often prepared in winter to preserve food for the Chinese New Year. Nowadays, although there is no need to preserve meat, millions of ducks are still salted and dried every year as a tradition. Moreover, the demand for salted meat in China continues to increase every year, so regions with a tradition of salting meat have developed their salted meat into an attractive specialty. To be able to process millions of salted ducks every year, rural areas have maintained and promoted local duck farming. China is currently the world's leading duck producer with over 4.8 million tons per year, accounting for 67% of the world's total duck population. The regions with the highest concentration of duck farms are Shandong, Guangdong, and Fujian provinces. China's duck farming industry continues to grow rapidly as domestic demand for duck meat remains high. Chinese consumers also prefer duck eggs to chicken eggs. To meet this demand, duck farms in China have focused on intensive production systems. Shandong province, which accounts for nearly 20% of China's duck production, has adopted modern farming infrastructure to optimize farming space and boost productivity. Duck farms are mainly family scale with free-range farming. On average, farms own 500 to 1,000 ducks that are free-range in a certain area. In addition, the farm needs a cage so that the ducks can rest and stay warm. Feed provided to ducks is mainly locally available grains or green vegetables. Organic feed ensures that the quality of duck meat meets better standards. Farmers have a tradition of salting duck meat in Jiangxi, believes that organically raised ducks will produce the highest quality and most delicious salted duck meat products. Ducks also thrive better in water environments, so many duck farms are built in ponds, lakes, rivers, and streams so they can swim. Free-range ducks that meet harvest standards will be harvested after 5 to 6 months. Traders will purchase ducks from farms and transport them to meat processing plants or wholesale markets. In the factory, thousands of ducks are processed in a short time through stages such as slaughtering, feather removal, and viscera removal. Each duck is cleaned to remove impurities, then quickly frozen for transportation to salted duck meat processing facilities. Salted duck is a traditional delicacy in Gan County, Guangzhou, Jiangxi. Every winter, you can see iron shelves filled with salted ducks drying in the sun. The fat layer under the duck skin gradually dries, becomes lighter in color, and the duck meat hardens, giving off a light aroma. Although the method of preparing salted duck seems simple, in fact, it is quite complicated and goes through many processes, especially the sun-drying stage to ferment the meat and create a characteristic aroma. After being salted, the duck meat will be flattened to make the carcass look thinner and lose water easily when dried in the sun. This step is very important because it depends on the temperature and weather, so the sun-drying areas need to be covered if it rains. During the drying process, workers constantly adjust the size and density to ensure that each duck carcass gets enough sunlight. After more than 10 days of repeating the process of sun-drying, baking, and drying, plus the impact of the temperature difference between day and night, each salted duck is ready with a flat shape, soft skin, crispy bones, and a characteristic aroma. Salted duck is most consumed at the end of the year because Chinese people often give salted meat products as gifts. Dishes made from salted duck are often served on the dining table of every family during important Chinese holidays. Did you know that with an output of up to 334,215 tons of eels per year, China is emerging as the world's leading country in the eel farming industry? And the special thing is, the eel farming method here can be 100 times more effective than the traditional method. It sounds unbelievable, but it's true. So, what makes the eel farming model in China so outstanding? Let's find out in this video to discover the secrets from professional eel farmers. Monopterus eel, also known as field eel, is an extremely familiar eel breed in China. Eel dishes are not only delicious, but also extremely nutritious, especially when processed into fragrant grilled dishes. Eel stewed with Chinese herbs or hot, rich eel soup. But did you know that one-horned eels are extremely easy to raise, low cost, but the productivity is so huge that everyone has to admire it? With a lightning-fast growth rate, in just a few months, from 1 kilogram of baby eels, you can harvest up to 5 to 10 kilograms of adult eels. Eel farming has now become a real gold mine in China. So, why is the eel farming model in cages so popular? The secret is that the Chinese have optimized every step in the farming process. The cages are made of knotless polyethylene mesh, with extremely small mesh sizes of only 0.3 to 0.5 centimeters, which are both sturdy and effectively anti-corrosive. Thanks to this design, the eels are protected from adverse environmental factors, while ensuring a clean water source. The cages are placed 1 meter apart and about 10 to 15 meters from the shore to create a comfortable living space for the eels. In particular, the bottom of the cage does not touch the mud, maintained at a depth of 30 to 80 centimeters, helping the water circulate stably and minimizing the risk of disease. In addition, planting aquatic plants such as water hyacinth or peanuts around the cage not only cleans the water, but also creates a natural living environment, helping the eel reduce stress and grow healthily. The ideal time to stock the fish is from June to July, when the water temperature is stable above 25 degrees Celsius. After releasing the breed, in the first 3 to 5 days, the farmer will feed the eel with chopped earthworms or zooplankton so that the eel can quickly get used to the new environment. Eels eat best in the afternoon, from 5 to 6 o'clock. The amount of food should only account for about 5 to 10% of their body weight. The main food is earthworms, small fish, silkworm pupa, and large zooplankton, often ground and mixed with synthetic food to supplement nutrition. In particular, before feeding, the food needs to be soaked in water so that the eel can digest it more easily and not pollute the water source. Eels often suffer from diseases such as plum spot, hemorrhage, or fever, mainly due to poor water quality or too high stocking density. To prevent this situation, it is necessary to pay attention to selecting healthy breeds, disinfecting ponds before stocking eels, and controlling appropriate stocking density. With a rapid growth rate, after only 6 months, eels can reach harvest weight and be sold for about $8 per pound. Some large farms in China now supply hundreds of kilograms of eels per day, bringing stable revenue and high profits. Not only stopping at selling adult eels, many farmers also invest in eel farming to sell juveniles, expand production scale, and increase income. Market demand is also constantly increasing, with more than 3 million tons of eels consumed each year in China and nearly 200,000 tons exported to Japan and Korea. Xiantao City, Hubei Province, is the birthplace of eel farming in ponds. Currently, this area still maintains an output of about 154,279 tons, accounting for 46.2% of the country's aquaculture output. Coming to Xiantao, you can find large eel farms covering tens of thousands of acres. With extensive experience, eel farmers here can raise hundreds of millions of eels each year, ensuring a survival rate of 95%. With this method, you don't need to be a big investor to raise eels. Instead, you just need to install a smart cage to start. Now, have you seen the savings and efficiency of this model? Surely you will not need a large farming area like the traditional model. The eel cage farming model in China not only brings high economic efficiency, but also contributes to the sustainable development of the aquaculture industry. With modern methods and scientific care techniques, Chinese farms have proven that with just creativity and effort, they can turn eel farming into a booming industry. What do you think about the eel cage farming model? Is this an effective way to help farmers change their lives? Please share your opinion in the comment section. For many years, Japan has dominated the global cultured pearl market, bringing hundreds of millions of dollars in economic value to farmers. Pearls are small but possess unique beauty, making their value increasingly high. So, how do the Japanese maintain and develop this special economic industry? Let's explore pearl farms in Japan in today's video. Oysters and freshwater mussels have a natural defense mechanism, secreting nacreous substances to cover foreign objects that enter inside, thereby forming pearls. But unfortunately, not all oysters or mussels contain pearls, and finding natural pearls is very difficult. This led to the development of pearl farming in the early 20th century. Kokichi Mikimoto, the father of the modern pearl industry, succeeded with the Pinctada Fukata oyster, also known as the Akoya pearl oyster. Pearl farming began with the cultivation of Akoya pearl oysters. Most of them were raised artificially, then the healthiest were selected for further care. When the oyster larvae developed into juveniles and reached a size of 2 to 3 millimeters, they were transferred to fine mesh cages and suspended on aquaculture rafts in the natural ocean. Young oysters grow by eating natural plankton, but they often stick together into balls. Therefore, fishermen will have to split the shell and remove the rest so that the oysters can grow better. After about a year, their size increases and they are transferred to larger nets. 2 years later, they are transferred to mother oyster nets, continuously removing the attached organisms to promote growth. When the mother oysters reach the size for surgical breeding, they are placed in special baskets and hung on rafts to reduce physiological activity, avoiding surgical shock. Then, the cutting and sewing process to collect the pieces will take place. Cutting and sewing is an important process affecting the survival rate and quality of the pearl. The work of inserting the nucleus into the mother oyster usually begins from April to October, when the water temperature becomes warmer. Before implanting the nucleus, the mother oyster is opened with special equipment. The implantation process involves inserting a piece of shell and nucleus into the mother oyster's gonad, which secretes nacre to create pearls. After the surgery, the oyster is cared for and restored in calm waters for about 20 days. If the core does not fall out, the oyster will continue to be cultured for about the next 2 years and checked by X-ray. The mother oysters will be fixed to a net and hung at sea at the appropriate density, ensuring adequate food and oxygen. During this time, the work of removing debris from the oyster shell is still carried out regularly. December to January, when the sea temperature drops below 13 degrees Celsius, is the ideal time to harvest pearls, because this is when the pearls have the most beautiful luster. However, of the 100,000 oysters harvested each year, only about 5% produce high-quality pearls. The majority of pearls collected are of average or worthless quality. After each harvest, only a small portion of the oysters continue to be cultured with artificial pearls. The rest cannot survive. Therefore, Japanese fishermen can use the oyster meat as food or organic fertilizer for crops. In addition, the oyster shells are not wasted. They can be made into jewelry or buttons called mother of pearl. Shell parts that are not suitable for mother of pearl can be crushed into chicken feed, helping to supplement calcium. These methods will limit the negative impact on water quality and the environment around the farm. Akoya pearls are famous for their luster and variety of sizes. Originally considered a vulgar copy of natural pearls, they have since become popular. In Japanese culture, pearls have great significance, being considered a symbol of purity and innocence, and a talisman for fishermen. Japan can produce about 20 tons of cultured pearls a year, bringing in about 16.6 billion yen, $111 million, and is determined to achieve a higher target in the following years. However, that figure is still far from its peak in the late 1980s, when Japan produced about 70 tons of pearls worth nearly $600 million. In the future, the pearl farming industry in Japan will continue to grow, as it is one of the country's main export items. The pearl farming industry in Japan is still bringing positive values to the national economy. With modern techniques, they have created the largest and brightest pearls, helping Japan become a major center of the global cultured pearl trade. Welcome to the American West, where brave and talented cowboys perform special tasks. Have you ever wondered how Western cowboys can tame wild cows on horseback? Without modern machinery, they can still control the ferocious cows. Today, we will explore the ultimate skills of these Western cowboys. Let's follow this journey. Since the late 19th century, cowboys have become an indispensable part of cattle raising activities on large ranches in the American West. On the vast grasslands, cows are often led to roam freely to find their own food. Therefore, cowboys must master the skills of controlling and taming the herd when necessary. Cowboy culture is not only a job, but also a way of life, a symbol of freedom and adventure. How can cowboys control and tame wild cows? Western cowboys tame cows on horseback with a perfect combination of technique and instinct. The cowboys' cow taming process begins with the discovery and approach of the cow herd. Then, they will seek to control the cows rhythmically. To do that, they need to create harmony between man and horse. When moving through the grasslands, precise reins and gentle spurs help create flexible movements, leading the herd in the desired direction.
What's that? Oh yeah.
After choosing the right cow, the cowboy begins to prepare the noose throwing technique. One of the skills related to the noose is called trick roping, in which the cowboy performs movements by spinning the noose in the air before wrapping it around the cow's neck. From horseback, the cowboy must not only adjust the force of the throw, but also calculate the distance and direction of the charging cow. With decisive and skillful movements, they create a perfect rope, tying it around the neck of the cow in a split second. After successfully controlling it, the cowboy quickly uses his skillful skills to knock down the cow, creating a situation of complete control. Sometimes, wild cows can be tied to all four legs or tied to a tree, tiring them out before the cowboy leads them back home. So, why do cowboys have to capture these cows? There are many important reasons related to cattle management and conservation. In the past, wild cows living in the wild needed to be captured to bring them to the ranch to domesticate and reproduce, helping to increase the gene pool and ensure the maintenance of the herd. In addition, semi-wild cows, raised on large grasslands, also need to be captured to transport to the ranch or sell at the market.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one. Additionally,
we hire cowboys.
Domesticating cattle not only helps ranchers maintain their herds, but also helps them control and protect their herds. This ensures a steady income for farmers and cowboys, helping them maintain their livelihoods. However, the most common demand today comes from the federal government. They need to remove wild cattle from public lands for ecological or even safety reasons. Therefore, cowboys are often paid to do this. When taming wild cattle from horseback, cowboys face many potential dangers. One of the biggest risks is being attacked by cows. When panicked, cows can react unexpectedly, attack cowboys, and cause serious, even life-threatening injuries. Besides, riding and running at high speed is also a constant danger. They have to be very careful not to fall off the horse or be thrown to the ground, which can lead to serious injuries. All of this requires cowboys to have courage and skillful skills to ensure their safety. But how do cowboys get so good at taming wild cows? It all starts with rigorous training. They start by learning how to ride well, developing a bond and understanding with their horse. Then, cowboys practice lassoing, a technique that requires precision and agility. They often spend hours practicing this move, from adjusting the distance to calculating the speed of the cow, helping them become proficient at catching cows. Cowboys will have to start their training with farm-raised cows or small, non-aggressive cows. The training process will take place regularly until they can handle the situation proficiently. But it is not that simple. Those skills will need to continue to be perfected throughout life. Although times have changed, the work of cowboys still plays an important role in the modern livestock industry. They continue to use traditional techniques, but with the support of technology, work efficiency has been significantly improved. Today's cowboys are not only cattle herders, but also modern ranch managers. With the technique of taming cows from horseback, Western cowboys have become symbols of courage and freedom in American culture. What do you think about this? Leave a comment to let us know.